Have you ever thought, who is the most powerful person on the internet? Mirror, mirror on the wall, is it the bald British guy charged with abuse above them all?
Let me see thy face.
No, the other one, the worst one. Goddamn AI editor. Yeah, that one. What about the long-haired British guy charged with abuse? The bald American ape? Is it the good guy pretending to be a bad guy? The bad guy pretending to be a good guy? Gay guy pretending to be a straight guy? The guy who's just a guy? It's a fascinating thought experiment, but all of them ain't it. Instead, I submit that the most powerful person online is a Christian YA author writing in Indianapolis, Indiana, who moonlights as a high school history teacher. If you're young, you may not even know his name, but I'm here to persuade you, convert you, teach you supine jellyfish brains. The most powerful person on the internet isn't Andrew Tate or Sniper Wolf. It's John Green, and it's undeniable.
Oh, we're recording. Oh god.
How can you know John Green is more powerful than Tate or Rogan? Simple. The results. If you get on the wrong side of John Green, my advice is log off, burn your computer, move to Siam, and start wholesaling kratom. Because, like an African president after an election, you're not coming back.
For the people here arrested me.
How John Green became the most powerful person online, though, isn't obvious, and hinges on unique factors that he alone controls. But we'll get through it in this video. Because John Green plays the internet on God mode. The offensive line just doesn't play at his level. Are the other people I listed famous? Yes. Do they have influence? Definitely. They can sell sugary drinks and misogyny.
I don't want to be near you.
Conspiracy theories, candy bars, and cryptocurrencies.
Stay on the lookout for Crypto Zoo.
But they have influence, not power. Power bends buildings, institutions to your bidding when they have zero incentive to do so. Influence feels like a squirt gun. Power hits you like a nuke. And in 2023, John Green wields a scary level of tangible power.
It's cold. It's been cold forever.
Let's look at the evidence. It's July 2023. $300 billion company Johnson & Johnson are looking at their Q3 revenue goals. It's low. They need some extra money, so they hatch an idea. They're going to extend their patent on tuberculosis drug bedaquiline to make a few extra quid for their shareholders. Will this hurt people in developing nations that need access to generic medicine? Yes. But this is India, Africa. Americans don't care about TB deaths. What reporter covers tuberculosis? Definitely not this liar. Who can even pronounce the word? Bedaquiline.
Bedaquiline.
Answer? No one. It's an easy win. The patent extension is lucrative. It's business as usual. The CEO drinks champagne. The board is happy.
It wasn't brains that got me here.
But John Green sniffs out Johnson & Johnson's plan, and he doesn't like it. He decides to do something. $300 billion company? Not a problem. Green rereads The Hollow Men and has a plan. He'll go bang and make them whimper. So he makes a video.
We'll die.
Marshals his influence and wages a PR war so violent that in 24 hours, Johnson & Johnson puts out a statement. They acknowledge Green's demands to stop their patent extension in India. Problem solved. Or is it? John Green demonstrates J&J are lying. He uncovers J&J only stopped the patent extension in India because India's law has forced them. He points out 2/3 of J&J's research for the drug was paid for by taxpayers, not them.
What?
People are outraged. Memes are flying. Phones ringing. He scorches J&J's positive press release and continues to wage total war on the internet. It's the Battle of Austerlitz, and J&J is Austria. He mobilizes his fans, his audience, his network. They put severe pressure on wholesalers to stop buying J&J products and ask shareholders to divest. Hashtag patience over profits briefly trend on Twitter. The result? A few days later, Stop TB Partnership announced that J&J granted them a license to make and supply bedaquiline generics to most of the developing world, costing J&J hundreds of millions of dollars to their bottom line. The length of engagement until John Green bent a $300 billion company to his will? 2 weeks. But the story continues. The following month, August 2023, US-based global conglomerate Danaher makes a fancy new machine to test for antibiotic-resistant TB. Will these machines make them millions of dollars? Again, yes. The CEO says terrific, and tells his team to run the usual playbook. Sell the machines cheap, and then overcharge for the test. It's the classic printer and ink move. It can't lose. Plus, they say, we sell these tests in sub-Saharan Africa, a place most Westerners don't care about and can't even find on a map.
That's Africa?
Nope.
Russia?
Nope. Where's Europe?
Don't know.
What could go wrong? Unfortunately, John Green seems to obsessively care about TB, and is smart enough to quickly understand Danaher's business model as exploiting the inelastic demand of developing nations. With Johnson & Johnson still in the PR intensive care unit, Green decides to re-enter the ring against another $200 billion company. He makes another video, marshals his influence, and attacks.
And we will endeavor to make it cost more to their reputation and their ability to recruit and do business than the infinitesimal hit to their profit that would accompany $5 tests.
He overwhelms Danaher's phone lines again, so they shut them off. He moves to letters and emails. Danaher shuts them off. What about social media? Nope. Danaher shut it off. The board is in distress, not because they made a blunder and outraged the Twitter mob or Wall Street Journal and covered fraud, but because John Green is simply mad. In 72 hours, internet memes place a $170 billion company in crisis mode because one guy doesn't like its business model. The PR campaign continues, and within a week, Danaher comes to the table with a deal to sell their tests cheaper, and Ben to the middle-aged man filming in his basement. Total length of the engagement until John Green wins, 1 week.
I just crumpled them.
Before John Green, the power to crumple massive corporations without government intervention or billion-dollar lawsuits didn't exist. Like Elon Musk tweeting something smart, most thought it was impossible.
I'm not a huge Elon Musk fanboy.
But couldn't any big creator do this? I don't think so, because unlike Tate or PDB or Tucker Carlson, John Green draws his power not from millions of views, but from his tactical brilliance and his diffuse, idiosyncratic community. You see, John, along with his brother Hank, command an audience separate from the rest of the internet. Frankly, it's entirely unique. Like Chinese pandas at the San Diego Zoo. They're cute, but deadly, and probably won't be around forever. Green's audience call themselves nerdfighters, and have been watching him for decades.
A nerdfighter is a person who, instead of being made out of like bones and skin and tissue, is made entirely of awesome.
But their cohesion weirdly isn't based around politics or similar interests. He's not even really an idol, but first among equals in a weird egalitarian internet community that he built.
More than 49,000 members of the Nerdfighter Keeper group have now loaned more than $6.3 million.
Confused how this gives him power? Let me explain. You see, Green's internet community is large, yes, but it's not extremely large. More important than audience size is that a community believes what you say. And most people not only believe Green, they follow him like a father. This is important to understand, because Green has nurtured this large, unique, non-political, non-ideological community for 15 plus years. His audience is smart enough and now old enough to have permeated into the cracks of real corporate and government structure across the country and exert prismatic like angled pressure. His fans grew up with him, went to school with him, and now work in government schools and corporations. They are managers, writers, political staffers, startup founders, corporate VPs, film producers, farmers, scientists, YouTubers, college educators. They operate the world.
I'm everywhere, bitch.
Unlike every other internet personality, Green's audience isn't 12-year-olds. They're large, loyal, well-placed adults. This is what happens when for 15 years you nurture your audience and give them educational encouragement. They'll do things for you. Someone you know, a friend, a coworker, a family member, wrote a letter, an email, and pressured Johnson & Johnson. You may not know who, but they did. It's how someone speaking from their basement bends a $300 billion company without money. Green's audience is a massive sleeper cell in society, willing to activate around anything he says because he's never sold them out for profit, and treats his fans like equals.
Will you marry him? Yeah! She said yes!
But the second reason for John Green's power is his brain. His complex understanding of the internet as a tactical chessboard is better than most. Let's rewind the tape to see how he works.
So Danaher currently charges $10 for each of these cartridges. Doctors Without Borders commissioned a study asking a group to look at how much it costs to make these. And what they found is that it costs somewhere between $3 and $4.50. Huge array of other organizations have been trying to convince Danaher to consider lowering their prices to $5 per test cartridge, which would be a healthy profit margin instead of an obscene one.
Okay, did you catch that? Unlike other people who just call the whole system rigged.
The whole system's so entirely rigged.
Every single system, all of them are corrupt.
Green says exactly what he means and asks for exactly what he wants.
It's time for $5 tests.
Like a general, he issues clear and direct goals to his community when pursuing objectives. Lower the cost of the drug by $5. Make the testing kit 30% cheaper. He defines his objectives with an actionable step his opposition can take to stop the battle.
I'll quote it back to you. Our first responsibility is to the patients. I hope you will embrace that promise, and until you do, we will pressure you to live up to your credo.
In 200 BC, Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote on Pinterest, "When you strike at a king, you must kill him."
You come at the king, you best not miss.
so Green doesn't miss. Like a reptile, he rarely moves. He waits until he sees an opportunity, assesses the probability, defines the goal, and then strikes. He uses unexpected momentum and community activation to crumple companies in 2 weeks.
Minutes ago, Danaher's standard TB cartridge would reduce in price to $7.97.
The secret is Green is Napoleon, at attracting, activating, and using an audience, and Buddha at controlling his ego's impulses and opinions. He only speaks when he means it. His power to move society is kept by the ability to know when not to frivolously overuse it. But that means his battles, like Soviet ballet, are actually well-choreographed attacks. It works like this. X company is doing Y. We want them to do Z, and this is achievable if they do W first. So let's politely demand they do W to get Z, and he succeeds. It helps he communicates like a people's prophet, and is friendly with figures from Bill Gates to Obama.
I gotta tell you, John, I don't know.
So he has a lot of tools. He can exert political pressure, economic pressure, and public pressure, and he uses all three at once to get what he wants.
Letting the mother burn.
Something Tate and other influencers can only dream about. He is the personification of speak softly and carry a big nuclear bomb. And on the internet, the difference between wielding online influence and tangible power is bright.
The university on the planet teaching you how to escape the matrix as opposed
The winner is clearly John Green.
Today, Johnson & Johnson announced that they will not in any way enforce their secondary patents on bedaquiline in any of the 143 low and middle income countries in this world.
That's power.
The truth